What is your Mount Rushmore of Final Fantasy games?
Damn, it really is 6, 7, 9, 10.
Do you like how 15 turned out?
Okay, I mean,
It's not complicated.
so if you ask me, do I like 15? I'll say yes. If you ask me if I hate 15, I'll say yes.
I got something controversial to ask. Expedition 33 or Rebirth?
Um, that's tough. Rebirth, Expedition 33, both great titles. Just don't do full action again.
Yo, 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 what is up? My name's Godswill. We got Louie on the podcast,
Hey, hey.
and we are bringing back one of our old friends, Nice Guy Prince. Very excited to have you on, especially now that like everything RPG is just like on and popping. And I mean, I see you on and popping too. I was
Oh,
just
thanks,
talking about
man.
like how
Yeah.
good you're looking right now.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, super excited to have you on. I mean, just too many things to talk about. I guess first, I do want to talk about like I guess your diet and all that. Like, I mean, I can't not talk about that.
Yeah,
It's
please
like,
share.
yeah, please share your tips and tricks with us. Your hair is more lustrous, your skin's more glowing. I've seen pictures of you with multiple abs on the internet,
I
and I was like,
do. I
I
do.
can't not talk about that on the podcast.
Okay. So, I mean, essentially what happened with me is I have been every body type that you can imagine. I have been skinny. I have been skinny fat. I have been fat. I've been muscular fat. And now I'm lean and I got a decent amount of muscle on me. But essentially, I really just wanted to lock in finally and be jacked because I thought about it and then over COVID, and I was just like, what are one of the things that if I die, I wanted to say I achieved in my life? And a great physique was like always one of those things. Like I want to be able to like take my shirt off and people go, "Whoa, he looks good." So, over those years, the past few years, I was like, I'm finally going to be able to do that. So I put everything I had into finally, locking in, getting down the diet because people think that the exercise is the hardest part. Is really actually changing your dietary habits, right? Because like, you can show up and you can lift weights, but like when you're at home and Cheetos and Oreos and all the snacks that you like are calling your name.
Temptation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it gets really hard because I see people they can go to the gym consistently, but can they cut all the processed carbs out of their diet? Can they stop going to McDonald's? Can they learn to cook food at
Whoa,
home
whoa,
that's
now.
healthy? Yeah,
Especially these
those
nerds, you
are
A
know.
lot.
yeah. Right, like gym is just showing up to a place and doing a thing, but I think diet is making fundamental changes to the way you operate and the things that you're going to choose to do at your life. And there's really hard baked dopamine circuitry in your head to make you like want to crave those foods. And
Especially in America.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing too is that they are constantly engineering food to make it more addictive and more like you crave it more and you're never satisfied with it so you'll consume more. And it took conscious effort for me at least to say, okay, I can't do this, we have to stop.
Did you?
Or we're not going to get there, right?
I guess did
So
you like have to get like outside help to do that, or did you just like make the choice and like I guess like slowly go about it, or just like cold turkey, no more junk food?
Ooh.
I am the type of person, I'm built weird.
Ooh, built
Whenever
different.
I say to, yeah, I kind of am. I just like, whenever I say to myself, I want this thing so bad, I could die to have it. I change fucking everything immediately. I'm like, okay, like I look up everything, I dedicate my life to it. But I think that like to actually like make fundamental changes to your life, what you actually have to do is say, like really have that feeling like I want this so bad I could die. Like I am going to like die if I do not achieve it. Because then you're like really thinking with like the type of focus and desperation that you need in order to actually make those changes.
Dang, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
making it happen, dude. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I
I
had
appreciate
to I had to
it.
talk about that first because like I haven't seen it for a minute, and like I was just
Yeah.
like, let me just talk about this. And it's honestly sort of inspiring to me. I'm like, oh, let me see what changes I need to do. Although
Yeah.
I am trying to eat more fruit, and I'm trying to be a lot more healthy in different ways. But honestly, like what you got going on, I'm like, I need to get that on.
Yeah.
Well,
Get
dude,
them vegetables, man.
absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean,
gotta eat cleaner,
that's a
to be
huge part.
honest.
Yeah, people
Fiber.
don't eat any vegetables out here,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. Like fiber, like a lack of fiber in diets is so problematic right now. It's causing people to get colon cancer at like a way earlier age and stuff like that. And so, and other health related issues. So, yes, please eat your fiber.
Not the tip I
Yeah.
was expecting to get on a video game
Yeah.
from a video game YouTuber, but you know what? I love it.
True that.
We should have like more, a mixture of that. Like hey, you can be a nerd, but also you can be healthy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really love to be able to show that with my platform, because you think of like a JRPG nerd. Of all like the video game nerds you can think of, you think of a JRPG nerd, you think of the scrawniest guy like imaginable, right?
Unfortunately, not even fat, just scrawny.
Yeah. Just scrawny, hasn't seen the sunlight.
Oh
I wanted
man.
to, present maybe the opposite of that. So.
I dig that. So I guess now, like, I would like to ask, for new listeners, I guess could you explain what you do and who you are?
Oh, great. So my channel name, my brand is the Night Sky Prince. On some places, you may see me registered as Night Sky King. I go by either one. Started off as Prince in my mid 20s, but now I think King is probably more appropriate considering I'm headed toward the mid 30s.
Hey, grown up, I
Evolved.
like it. I actually was wondering
Yeah.
if it was still
Yeah.
Prince or if it's gonna be King now.
We'll like officially change it to King at some point on
okay.
YouTube, but right
Okay.
now it's still Prince.
I like it.
But I have been making Final Fantasy and JRPG related content for I think 8 years now. Yeah, it's been 8 years.
Wow.
Going on 9. It'll actually be 9 this March. And yeah, I've been doing that for quite a long time now. I've been doing it full time for about 6 years actually now. I didn't intend for it to be my full-time job. I just wanted to upload some videos, and I thought maybe if I made some extra money while I was doing it, that would be awesome. But as things would turn out, it would be enough for me to just kind of focus on that, and I've been pretty thankful ever since.
Love it, man. I'm glad you're doing what
Yeah.
you're doing because, I mean, I've had quite a few friends be like, oh my God, you know that guy? And I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah, straight
That's
up,
all
bro.
it- Yeah,
I mean, hell,
it's
even
always
like
surprising
one of
to
her
me.
producers on here, he's like, what, you know that guy? And I'm like,
Right?
I could probably get him on this week,
What?
Yeah,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah, so it's a feather in my cap, to be able to know you. And then honestly, like I didn't know it was 8 years. I thought it was longer, but like I'm glad I got to see you like start it and like now you're here. Like you're one of the leading experts when it comes to Final Fantasy content and JRPG content overall.
I gotta ask
Yeah.
you too. What was your first Final Fantasy game?
Okay, my first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy VII,
Nice.
and I played it actually on a PC first, and then I got the PlayStation version later.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How many times you play then?
How many times I've like completely played Final Fantasy VII? I don't know. I would probably say I've completed it probably like 3 or 4 times, which is rookie numbers, honestly.
Is it? Wow. I mean, but also
I mean, compared to people
Compared
in the
to some
community
people.
who have played it like, like who have played it like dozens upon dozens of times. I was just recently thinking like, it has actually been long enough that I need to do another full playthrough of it soon.
wow. And
At least
then
before
how
part
many
3 comes
of the
out.
mainline Final Fantasy games have you gone through?
I have played all of them. The only ones I have not beaten is 5, which is actually really funny because I started 5 Pixel Remaster, and 5 is actually really good from what I played of it. I just got distracted with some stuff, and I didn't get to finish it. And then I did not get very far in Final Fantasy 11, but I played it, and
Does that
I
one count
dedicated-
like in the list these days?
You can't. I guess you can technically beat Final Fantasy 11 in the sense that you complete all the expansions and its content, but
Wow.
it's like, it's it's different. Let's just say.
Do you like
So
to
I've
go
heard,
for
yeah.
like the plat? Because I know Goswell, he's all about 100%ing the game. Is that also your thing, or is it
So I'm,
like you're there for
bro.
story?
I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum, from God's will. So when
Same here.
I'm total autistic.
no, like like okay, so like the
uh,
way I am with games is I play them until I am fully satisfied with the content. So some games I'll do a ton of side content. Some I'll basically do none, and some I might just skip it altogether because I'm like, this just isn't worth my time. Because the reason is that every time I go for a platinum, it creates a negative relationship between me and the game,
mm,
right?
yeah.
Like at some point or another, there is some mini game or some like side quest or some collecting thing that is just designed by the devil himself, and I
Yep.
just don't want to do it.
Yep.
I just straight up am like, this sucks. I'm not enjoying the game that I love anymore. So why not just put the shit down?
You're being wise. Like there, because like especially like I mean, we'll talk about it with Rebirth, but for sure, I was like, brother, like, but also every time that I got to that point, I was like, I asked for this. I said I wanted
Yeah.
to do everything, and yeah, this is the devil side quest. Oh, now devil side quest plus. Oh, devil side quest plus plus on hard mode. I asked for it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Masochist.
it's yeah, that's what it is at some point. And I feel like it's maybe the one thing I agree with Nintendo on, where I'm like, like maybe like because designing games around the trophies is what people do nowadays. Like they're like everyone's like, "Oh, how hard is it to get the platinum?"
Mm,
Like that's like an actual point of discussion. And I'm like, we're not even wording it like how hard is it to do everything, like what's all the content like. It's how hard is it to get the platinum. And I think back to older, especially like Final Fantasy games,
mm,
a lot of those contents were designed to be extraordinarily challenging, but the idea kind of was is that most people probably wouldn't be able to do them. And if you could do them, you were like that top percent of player, right? But now everyone kind of goes in with this expectation where I should just be able to complete all the content and get the trophy I want.
wow.
So
I mean, that's very fair.
yeah,
And, like,
yeah,
because I mean, I guess I hadn't heard about like them making games around the trophies or like even like that discussion. Maybe I need to be more on the internet to be honest. But at the same
yeah,
time, like since I'm on the other end of the spectrum, I guess like I'm always like, ooh, how far can I go with the trophies? Can I accomplish everything? I still feel a hole in my heart actually for not doing everything in Final Fantasy 9. Like
yeah.
1,000 jump ropes.
Yeah, I was gonna
10,
say, brother, you don't
Whoa,
do those jump ropes.
yeah, I
That's
did the
not worth.
200
that's a
lightning jumps
thing.
in 10. Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's stupid, and it
What?
changes tempo like every 60 or something like that. Like it's
Yeah,
something stupid. I got to like 150. I'm like, maybe I can't do it.
It's not for me.
And also, I was doing it
yeah,
on the phone too, so I'm like, no,
Oh,
yeah, I can't.
no,
But I think you're
yeah.
right though.
That
You know.
Yeah. No, no. I mean, like, and no disrespect to obviously to anyone who wants to get trophies. I'm just saying, like, when it comes down to it, I'm not doing that many jump ropes.
Yeah, and you know what? Also, like we're adults. Like we only have so much time these days, right? And
Mm,
especially like you, who probably have to get through the game. I guess like at a reasonable pace, right? Yeah, to be able to
yeah,
talk
very
about it.
fast.
Hmm.
Very fast. Yeah.
the life of a
I guess
content creator, just
I,
breakneck.
straight up. I guess
Yeah.
is there like a standout side quest that you accomplished and you're like, yeah, that was dope. Like in any Final Fantasy game.
Wow. I'm trying to think like offhand, like something I did. Um, I don't know. I don't know because a lot of the times, like I said, like when the side content was just like too intense, I just like
Yeah.
noped out of a lot of it. So
I think that's honestly for the wisest because also you get to like focus on the story and like the
yeah,
premise more, right?
yeah. Well, actually, there is. I was gonna say like the one Final Fantasy that I did all the side quests in. Funny enough, I guess they weren't really side quests, like, but I like basically did everything. Was Final Fantasy 13, which is really weird considering that like I'm not the biggest 13 fan like whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay. And also,
But
we definitely got to talk about 13 because
yeah, I spent 90 hours in a single playthrough doing everything in that game.
was it worth
And
it?
I don't know. I don't know actually. I really don't.
What made it special then, like compared to, especially your first?
Well, I was 18 and I was broke and I couldn't just go buy other games and I actually like imported 13 from Japan and actually my
Wow.
first playthrough of it was entirely in Japanese.
Wow.
And, at this point in time, my knowledge of Japanese, I had studied a little bit of it off and on, but this is actually now something that I more proactively study. But so I had to follow like translation guides on the internet to like get through some of it. And I could read some small stuff and I knew words. But yeah, I was able to get through it and do all the side content. So that should tell you that, I was able to understand it enough.
I mean, that's hardcore. And I
Yeah.
mean, did you like? I
Yeah.
mean, now we got to talk about 13 as a whole. So first off, versus 13 to everyone talking about like the, I guess potential remake of it. First off, what'd you think about 13? What do you think about 13? Would you advise people to jump into it? That's a lot of
Um,
questions.
I would advise anyone
Because
because
you're
there's
talking to me
been
too. Like I'm like, do I get back into
yeah,
13? It feels like
yeah.
the CIA is like, hey, everyone play 13. And I'm like,
They're trying to
I
sell
don't
you.
know.
So 13, at least in my humble opinion, it's a very weird game because while it's not quite as bad as its most staunch haters will tell you, it's also not quite as good as its fans will like, let you believe. And a lot of it is just like a lot of like really small stuff with that game. For example, like you can't change party members in the middle of a fight, which is really, let's just say, not as fun as it could be if you could, because you have to rely on the AI to do the right moves that you want it to
Oh,
do,
like you can't
right?
control the other
Oh.
people in your party?
Right. No, yeah, you can't do that. The only way you can influence them is through the paradigm system, right? Now,
Mm,
this wouldn't be so bad if there were ways to instruct them to do specific things
like
when they
12
were.
in a way, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's no way to actually do that. And so the late game meta, especially mid to late game meta, kind of revolves around you playing as certain characters, even if you don't want to actively play as that character, simply because you're the human that will choose the right commands over what the AI will choose to do instead. Right. And so I kind of find that a strategic layer of the game that could have been there actually gets removed because of that. And it's just like really small things, decisions that they make like that. That and like the fact that they gate off a lot of the battle system until much, much later. Chapter 9 out of 13 is when the entire battle system like opens up. That's really,
That's a long time.
really late.
And I gotta say,
Yeah.
my personal story with it, like my PS3 corrupted, like just as I got to chapter 9, like way back in the day.
Oh
Yep.
Wasn't
man.
that common though? Didn't you say that was common with like the game that
I don't know, because like at least like because like I don't know like how common it was, but like that hurt me. Like I was bored. Finally got Fang, and then all of a sudden, and
uh
then it corrupted. My save data corrupted
No.
just for Final Fantasy 13. I'm like, I think I'm good, but I'm like, is it worth it to get back into? And also, like for some reason, my Twitter algorithm is just like, oh my god, 13 so great, 13 so great. Oh my god. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
is it?
Okay, so this has been the thing. It's really seen kind of a resurgence recently, and I'm not entirely sure why. I have a few theories on maybe why that's the case. But I think that is the last sort of command based Final Fantasy game before maybe say, I mean, that's the number one. That's not like 7R, for example, right? So it's the last Final Fantasy game where you're actually selecting commands, which is what I
Mm.
mean by
Mm-hmm.
command based, if that sounds ambiguous. Um, and since then, they kind of moved away from that toward a more action style of gameplay. And so part of it, I
Oh.
think, is just people yearning for the last time that they had a command style Final Fantasy game.
Well,
Um, yeah, go
yeah,
on.
no, I had a question. So you did a video on Versus 13. I just wanted to hear some of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, Versus 13 is really interesting because it's a canceled game. The Final Fantasy 15 that we got may have characters and locations from Versus 13, but it's actually a fundamentally different video game and story that they simply just reused the concepts of. So it's actually two completely different games versus 13 in the Final Fantasy 15 that we got. Two different directors, two completely different visions. Everything's different, and so it's it's really interesting because the director Tetsuya Nomura, the creator of Kingdom Hearts as well, and also the creator producer for the Final Fantasy VII retrilogy, he is, let's just say, from what we can tell, likely not very happy that his game has gotten canceled, and he has essentially worked Versus 13 into everything he's currently working it into Kingdom Hearts.
Oh
So
wow.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was already kind of teasing like, hey, this is like going into like Versus 13 territory. And in fact, if you beat the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, what you actually get is a shot for shot remake of one of Final Fantasy Versus 13 trailers, or like one of the scenes in there. And it's
Oh.
I did not
Yuzora,
know
and he's
that.
sitting in the car. He's sitting in the car, and he's sitting the same way that Noctis is. And the face animations and everything are the same. Even the dialogue is kind of a reference to that exact same trailer. And then we go into Kingdom Hearts 4, and then Kingdom Hearts 4 is basically reusing, because Insomnia, where Noctis was basically where his hometown is supposed to be, that is basically based on real world Shibuya, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And Quadratum in Kingdom Hearts 4 is also based on real world
That makes
Shibuya,
sense because I
right?
was wondering where, like, in the real world, that was supposed to be, like before. At least that
Yeah.
trailer that I got to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So it's Shibuya, and there are all these other references to Final Fantasy Versus 13. So basically, anytime you consume any of his work for like the past decade and maybe a decade going forward, you're going to find references to this canceled game.
Well, with all that knowledge, like, do you like how 15 turned out?
Okay. I mean,
It was hard
it's
hitting. Yeah.
complicated.
all
Oh.
right. So if you ask me, do I like 15? I'll say yes. If you ask me if I hate 15, I'll say yes. Like,
Oh.
Low key, I get that.
right? Like, there is like, there is a certain charm to Final Fantasy 15 that it does have in its characters. And like, whenever I like look at the gameplay of it and I listen to like the music and the characters, I do look back on it fondly, right? Like I do look back and I think, huh, that was good. But the reality is, whenever you go back and play that game, it is just objectively incomplete.
All right, thank you. It's not just me. Because also,
There,
I
yeah.
I didn't get to play the DLC. I watched the anime, I watched the movie, I played the game till platinum, and then the DLC started coming out, and I was like, I'm good.
Oh man. Okay. So the DLCs do a lot to actually make steps toward completing the game,
Yeah.
but they never get there. And I don't know if you know
Oh,
this,
so it
but they
doesn't
actually
even do it. Oh wow.
no, 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 it still doesn't. And then they came out with like the Royal Edition, right? Which also added more story content. And it still really is not complete. and really not at a satisfactory place, I think.
Wow, that makes me a little
Yeah.
angry to hear.
Yeah, and then here's where it gets even more heartbreaking. They actually had 3 more DLCs in the pipeline, right? But those actually got canceled. So,
Wow.
Like as they
So
were
yeah.
coming out, like, oh, we have like a season pass, and then forget it.
Yeah, actually, so that's exactly what happened is that they announced the second season pass and they were like we're going to tell like this brand new story arc in like Final Fantasy 15's world and there's supposed to be 4 DLCs. Only one of them came out and the rest of them were canceled. But the way they canceled them was so fucked because they had the game's second anniversary stream and everyone was tuning into this because we were like, oh man, this is where we're going to get all the plans laid out. This is where we're going to get so much. They're going to talk DLCs and updates and like, we're finally going to complete this game, guys. And then they were like, we're canceling everything. The director is leaving Square Enix. And please look forward to the last DLC. We're no longer doing anything else.
Crazy.
That's brutal.
I'd be hurt.
Yeah.
I'd be hurt.
Oh, but they released a book. They released a
Oh.
book that
Oh boy.
that
At
told you
minimum,
what
yeah.
was going to happen in the
Does it have
DLCs.
pictures in it at least?
Yeah, there's a couple pictures.
Okay.
Like
cool.
it's literally just concept art from the canceled DLCs.
Crazy. I don't know how I feel about hearing that. that makes me a little sad to hear.
Yeah, it's so
Whew.
it was a
Yeah,
pretty
no,
rough
I'm-
situation.
I'm glad I sort of got out of 15 land, I guess. But and then
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, there's so many questions to ask now, like where I'm like, do I first I want to ask what is your Mount Rushmore of Final Fantasy games? And then Mount Rushmore of JRPG games.
Oh, okay. Mount Rushmore of Final Fantasy games, I would say, yeah, it really is 6, 7, 9, 10.
Yeah, hey, I think that's a great list right there.
I think those 4 are generally considered the best ones by the broad majority of the fan base. And I mean myself included.
Would 10-2 be on that list or that mountain also?
I like 10-2, but I think its story probably falls a little too flat for it to be on there.
Yeah,
You
fair.
know, because there's like 4 heads on Mount Rushmore, right? So I can't put,
Honorable mention.
you can put Yuna's head to represent 10. if
Hey,
you
okay,
want.
there we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
just to have her in there. But I don't know about 10. I mean, 10-2 is a really great video game. Like as an RPG, it's a really great game. As a story, it's a Final Fantasy sequel,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
just say, and the first.
man.
So
Nice. And then JRPGs, how is that square up for you?
okay,
That was hard.
I would say Final Fantasy, Persona, Dragon Quest, and Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I like that list. Now,
Yeah.
I gotta ask about Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh.
What happened to all the
Okay.
Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts?
Oh man, that's a tough and
I know. I'm asking you as if like you're the Square Enix staff right there. What happened? What about this? But maybe you
well,
know
I
more than
know,
us.
but it's so essentially the thing is it's really hard to tell with Kingdom Hearts what parts are Disney and what parts are Nomura and Square Enix, right? Because
like as a licensing
there is
and directive,
a
I guess, right?
large amount of red tape. So here's something I found out recently when I was doing my Kingdom Hearts 1 retrospective. They actually could not obtain like the full rights to Mickey Mouse for Kingdom Hearts 1. So if you go back and play Kingdom Hearts 1, there is only one scene where Mickey Mouse appears, and that's
Yeah.
at the very end. The reason is because at the same time Kingdom Hearts was in development, Capcom was working on a game called Mickey's Magic Mirror. And so because of that, they had full guaranteed rights to Mickey's likeness. And so, in order to work this out, they basically came to the agreement that you can use Mickey Mouse, but only one time and only as a silhouette.
Oh,
So that's why at the end of
dang.
Kingdom Hearts 1, you
Although
see
the way they
Mickey
did it was
Mouse.
really baller. I'm not gonna lie. Like just
Yeah.
seeing him like, oh, I'm gonna close the door. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
It's
gosh.
Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Because it leads up to that point. And that's also too where just reading that, I kind of gained some respect for Nomina's geniusness.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking like, dang, that's real talent to be able to say, hey, we'll let you use the silhouette, and then actually come up with a really impactful way to use that silhouette. Was like pretty smart.
It
Because
is.
basically what they told him was like, imagine getting told to make a Nintendo collaboration game like Smash Bros. But they're like, yeah, bro, you can't use Mario though. You can have Link and Samus and Pikachu, but Mario,
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's
wild.
tough.
Off the table.
That's wild. But I mean, they made it work, and then I guess like
Yeah,
going on, like
yeah.
yeah, like it feels like there aren't any other Final Fantasy characters really like is even Leon like he's Ian too? I'm not sure. Maybe he is.
He's in two. So
Okay.
really, it started to kind of like lessen in the spin-off games, but everyone was like, well, the non-numbered games are non-numbered. We're gonna expect it though to come back in Kingdom Hearts 3. And then it did not come back in Kingdom Hearts 3. Eventually, it did in the DLC, in Remind. But they don't really play an active role. Basically, they just like show you to the data fights, and then that's it.
No.
There's
Yeah.
nothing else other than that. And their appearances there are really disappointing. So I'm thinking maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to fix that.
Okay.
They've had more than a little bit of feedback on whether the Final Fantasy characters should appear or not. And then also, because they are referencing Versus 13 so hard, I mean, that's why the art style has changed to basically be Versus 13 looking in every way. I assume that that would be the perfect opportunity to have some Final Fantasy characters. But I mean, every time you see Yozora, basically you are seeing Noctis because that's who he's intended to be. And my thoughts on this is that Yozora is a character that he came up with because Versus 13 Noctis got canceled and never got to see the light of day. I think he always intended to have Versus 13 and Kingdom Hearts 4 be a thing together. But he was like, oh shit, well now my plan is fucking ruined because that version of Noctis doesn't exist anymore. So he like just came up with like a stand-in for him. And of course, Noctis Caelum means night sky in Latin. Yozora
Oh,
means night sky in Japanese.
Oh.
that is
Okay.
tight.
Yeah.
Man, never let the dream die, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Never know. I gotta ask the both of you, what are your favorite world in Kingdom Hearts?
Oh man. You want to go first on this, or you want me to?
Please go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what comes to mind is the underwater level. No, I'm kidding. That'd be wild.
I'm like, wow.
Right? No, no.
That one?
No.
Yeah,
I
link in
guess
the comments.
yeah, right. He was like, "You're crazy." What comes to mind for me probably is Tarzan World in Kingdom Hearts 1. Like for me, it's like that was like where like it was like, oh my God, this is really Disney. I'm really in different worlds. Things are looking a little different. And then like Hollow Bastion to me, I think like the tone changes like so drastically. Um,
Mm.
and then I mean, of course, Halloween Town. I'm glad that like they keep bringing that back. And like that's just always like a dope vibe.
Mm.
Costume changes. Makes me like the movie a lot more. So that's just what comes to mind, top of mind. How about you, Sir Night Sky Prince?
I mean, yeah. If I was allowed to include original worlds, it would probably be like Twilight Town and Hollow
Yeah,
Bastion. I just love
you
the
know,
original worlds like more.
yeah.
But if we're going with Disney worlds, I'm also going to say Halloween Town and I'm also going to throw in like Mulan's world into.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about that world, but it just something about it and like the pacing of the story there. And obviously everyone loves the film. It's just such a classic.
Yep.
But that was a banger to me. I love that world. And it's such like a good like first world to a video game. Like I feel like it's just such like a good like introductory Disney world for Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, so 10 out
I
of
love
10
that.
for me.
Great
So that like
answer.
hooked you? Did you feel that too, Godzilla? Where it like
Yeah, and, like I have to agree. Like I remember like the music, I felt scared for like the soldiers. I'm like, we gotta. Oh my god, the Heartlet's gonna kill all the soldiers. Oh. They're teaming with the Huns. Oh my god. And I guess like with that, I have to think about like the Lion King world. I thought that was super cool to be
That
transformed.
was also really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm not sure if
Mhm.
that's my favorite world, but like I thought that was super cool, like what they did with that. But also I have to agree, Twilight Town, like that's just for me,
Mm.
I was like, oh, this is really real. Like we're no longer in Destiny Islands, and we are,
Mm.
like the vibe of Twilight Town, especially just on PS2 era, just it just made it feel like a such a like a place I would want to like chill around, but only like in that main city area, like versus like out in like different districts and they're covered in Heartless. Um,
it hit different? Yeah.
Yeah,
good
yeah.
times. Yeah, I love that question right there.
You've seen that
That's
that
great.
guy who does those videos where he's like chilling, like in different
Yes,
video
yeah,
games.
yeah,
That's how I
just
imagine you
smoking.
guys. Yeah,
I love that guy's video. Honestly, I feel like I need to hit him up and see like how he even got started in that. Um, Man, that cracks me up. But yeah, Ryan, I did want to ask, what would you say is like the weakest Final Fantasies in your opinion?
Oh God, they're
I
gonna come
know.
for me.
I'm
They're
sorry.
gonna
I'm
come
sorry
for
to do this to
me.
you,
They're gonna
but I
come
feel
for
like you
me.
have good
Okay.
logic with it.
I'm
I
I'm going yeah, I'm going to give the boomer take on this, but like if I had to give like the two Final Fantasy games that I felt like
Ooh, we got a bonus one.
overall were the weakest, probably 15 and 16.
Woo!
wild.
Lay it on
16 is
us.
the one 16 is the one that will get them at my doorstep. But
Yes,
for me
I know. I was
that
like,
was
good luck to you, sir. But also, I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you, and I 100%ed it.
yeah. Really?
I did.
How many times did you fall asleep?
Oh, bro, especially like the second time around, I'm like, bro, I have to do like all the mini games, or
Yeah.
I had to do like a lot of things twice, and it annoyed me, and I hated personally. I wasn't a fan of like anything that wasn't like the main storyline and like the main boss battles. Honestly, if it wasn't like
Yeah.
a boss battle, meh.
Yeah. And so, and this was one of the reasons why I'd put 13 over 16 is that I feel like in 13, while the boss fights also had a lot of spectacle to them, there were really interesting mechanics in the fights of 13 where I don't think most of the bosses, like the flashiness, the spectacle, it looks so cool. You can post a clip of it and it's like, dang, that looks so cool. But the flashiness and spectacle was nice, but the actual mechanical depth to most of those fights, I guess, unless you do the Ultimaniac mode, which people tell me is phenomenal, but you have to play in order to unlock all the Ultimaniac trials, you have to play the full game twice. You have to play it on normal, and then you have to play it on
Whoa.
the Final Fantasy mode. And then they unlock as you play the Final Fantasy mode. So if you want to go through all the Ultimaniac challenges, which are like the most brutally hardest difficulty, and actually they aren't even required to get the platinum trophy, so you
I'm
may not
good.
have even done them. Yeah, but then you have to like then you could like lock in and do like use like the full battle system. And for me, it just didn't click. And I went into it very excited. Like I was like fully willing to give this game a chance. I was like, this studio is going to crush it. They did so well with Final Fantasy 14 story and turning that game around from 1.0. I was like, they are going to make the best FF ever. And I think it really did land for some people. Like if you go on Twitter, you go on social media, there are some people that really love that game that I see that are like, yes, this is my favorite Final Fantasy ever. And That is wonderful. I think that's great. But for me, it landed as maybe my least favorite title. And it's funny because I think 15 is a worse game than 16. 16 is definitely better.
Yes,
And yet,
that's funny.
strangely enough, I still have more fun playing 15 over 16 because, at the very least, I think that there is like a certain campiness to Final Fantasy 15. And it's like, yeah, we're here with the boys on the road. And
Yeah,
there's like these funny interactions. And it never feels like you're doing the same thing for too long. Like one moment you're driving down the road, and the next moment
fishing and cooking.
you're doing the side quests, you're fishing, like you're doing all these different things. With 16, you are in a questing structure that is straight out of an MMORPG, straight out of 14 to be more specific. A lot of what they call the B tier cutscenes. So in video games, there's like, they have like the fully rendered, like kind of cinematic scenes where there's camera work and there's full animations. And then they have like more stock type cutscenes in video games that are more likely used for like side quests where the camera just pans back and forth between two characters and the animations tend to be
Yeah,
very
more
stiff.
stiff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm talking. 16 for, well, I know the reason, but let's just say for whatever reason, uses a disproportionately large amount of those scenes. And you have basically like this MMO FF14 like stiffness where you have two characters and it's just going back and forth, talking to them. And it is it is really hard because kind of a fault of that team is the characters tend to be very mouthy, very wordy. So things that
And
they
like
could have
old, yeah.
said, yeah, so things that they could have said in just like a few lines, they will actually say in like 20 and mouth
Mm-hmm.
on about it for a really long
Thank you.
time.
I feel vindicated what you're
Yeah.
saying because I was like, is it just me or I'm like just not caring? Like, these guys are talking a
No.
lot, and usually I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm down to help you with your problem, but like, I felt it drag on for sure in 16. Like even the first time around, and then definitely the second time around. I'm like, wait, you want to play it again a third time around? I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, one thing that I went into with a surprisingly open mind was the lack of party members because I thought that, well, there's guest party members, and as long as there's a lot of banter and they're fully involved in the story, it won't be so bad that you're only controlling one guy and you can't really touch the equipment or anything of the other characters. I have never been more wrong in my entire content creation career. That was like my worst call ever. It was immediately felt. I was like, wow, I can't play as Jill. And there are so many scenes where it
Yo,
would have
made a lot of
tremendously
sense.
benefited her character, especially the scene in
Yes.
the Iron Kingdom, would have tremendously benefited her character if I could have played with her and the game would have told things from her perspective in that moment, like every Final Fantasy game prior to it has done. And stuff like that just made it land really, really rough for me.
I agree, and I'm glad you're saying that because I was very bummed that like you only play as Clive and you can't control anything else for the other characters. I forgot that Jill and his brother or like other guest members were on the party unless they like said a thing. It's just sort of like,
Yeah,
okay, cool, you're here. I got it. Don't worry, stand back. you know?
and they don't say much.
Yes.
They don't say much, and I find that actually like really weird because Joshua, Clive's brother, is frequently a party member, and I just feel like if I'm hanging out with little bro, we're we're really gonna be like really chatting and like having that sense of camaraderie and having lots of exchanges and stuff, but there really isn't any party banter that
Yeah.
happens that isn't in a cutscene.
Dang. Yep. Thank you. You're making me feel seen. Like I would like to give 16 more flowers, but at the same time, I'm like, and I think like the acting is cool. One of the best Sids ever.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. It has the best voice acting probably in the series, I would say. Like the English voice acting, it's top tier.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yep. But it's just sort of like most of the characters are sort of forgettable. Like I
Yeah.
don't. I couldn't really tell you what the main storyline is about as much. Maybe that's me not paying attention. I guess I have no clue.
Falling asleep in
It's
between. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it like um kind of disappointingly simple in a way.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone listening, but it was very straightforward in a way. And I don't know if that's like a criticism, just saying it's straightforward, but I don't know how to say it other than like it is like straightforward in such a way that it feels cliche and tropey and just like the way they try to tell it is what I think is interesting about it and where I think it stands out from other JRPGs because the actual concept is like almost a like the default JRPG story. I'll just put it that way. But the way they actually want to approach telling it is really interesting, and I do think stands out from the rest of like the JRPG kingdom. But the actual execution of it, especially in the last quarter, where I think the plot just absolutely
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Like all of a
nosedives.
sudden,
Just
Really,
falls apart.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
yeah.
just really falls apart. That's where I really was checking out.
Yeah, same. And it's a bummer because like I thought like I had like pretty cool setup until that point, and then I was willing to forgive a lot of his sins, and then I mean at least it looked cool, it sounded cool. I still listen to the playlist, but at the same time I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like
yeah.
not one I'm gonna tell someone to spend their time on, but one that I do want to talk about for sure, Expedition 33. So, have you beat that?
Yes, yes. I was privileged enough to actually beat it before it released.
Wow.
Whoa.
The nice people at Kepler and Sandfall provided me a code,
Dang, I want to be so cool.
and I was able to beat it. One of the biggest regrets of my entire life was I was also invited to the game's launch party, and
Oh
I couldn't make
no.
it. I couldn't make it.
Ah,
Well, I mean, I could have, but like the way I was figuring it was, I was like, well, I'm already trying to play and beat the game right now. If I go to the launch party,
Get
I'm
spoiled.
like, that's going well. No, because what I'm thinking is that it's gonna take time out of my production pipeline
Just sit here and
in
play the
order
what a
game.
to,
true gamer.
yeah, right. Well, yeah, because I'm thinking like, okay, well, if I take the time out and go to the launch party, then I'll have less content ready to go at launch. So I'm like, what's going to benefit me and the developers more, me being at the party or me staying home and putting my head down and no lifing the content in the game and getting all those videos out. And obviously, getting the videos out definitely did help and definitely
Right.
did help promote the game quite a bit. But I do wish I could have met them in person and thank them for creating what I think is one of the best fucking role playing games I've ever played.
Wow, high praise.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Mm.
personally, I have to agree. Like, I'm still thinking about it. Right now, I'm trying to finish the Simon fight. I'm so close, but I keep dying
Yeah,
at the
it's
end.
hard, man. It's
Stupid
hard.
hard. Yeah, you got to parry 18 times in a row.
So so you're doing it the legit way then, right?
Yep. Yeah, like everyone's talking about their one shot, breaking the game. I haven't looked into any of that. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
I've gave everybody the same amount the experience points. I
Okay.
mix the party all the time. Like I don't have like one or two characters I just focus on. Like everybody on my team gets equal play.
Well, that's awesome. I like that. I
Thank you.
yeah, I for most of the game I used Mael,
Yeah.
CL,
Yeah. Oh,
and Lune,
okay.
and then that was my setup, and I was using the
Girl power.
burn meta.
Nice.
I was using the burn meta because basically Mael could like set them on fire, and then Lune could also amplify the burn damage, and then like CL like had abilities that could like basically support them and take advantage of the burn. So that was my setup when I
I
when I
like
played
that.
it, and I actually
It,
want to go back and play that game again because I'm just like, man, that was so much damn fun, and it's
mm-hmm.
paced so well.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. I mean, and there's so many like twists in it, and like I just keep reading into it.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I guess like one thing I'll have to ask like without like hopefully spoiling too much, but what'd you think about the endings And is there one that you lean towards more, or is there are you do you think that both are like equally valid?
According to Jennifer Svedberg, the writer of Expedition 33, she says that neither ending is the canon true one. The developers don't have like a canon true one. So for the popular ending, you guys know who you are. Very insistent that that is the ultimate true correct ending and everything else is delusion. That is not the case according to the writer herself.
Wow.
That being said, I do lean toward the lesser popular ending
Oh,
that
really?
people do not like. But I
Really?
actually find, yeah, I actually find a lot of value in that ending, and I don't think I read it the same way that other people do, because other people read it with a lot of nefarious intent on one character's end,
Hmm.
and I don't think I see it that way, or they see her being stuck, which is semi true. But I think that neither ending is a good ending. I think that
Mm.
both are pretty bad. And I think that if you don't see why both are bad, then you probably aren't looking at it holistically and understanding why there are consequences to the more popular ending.
Wow. Okay. I mean, dude. I mean, this is great. Like, I'm really glad to hear that because I definitely go towards the more popular ending, but also
Yeah.
because I'm like, hey, at least in my mindset, like sorry for everyone that hasn't got to play this. Go play this game. It's amazing.
That's me, dude. I'm
I've
everyone.
been thinking. Yeah, I know, right? I've been thinking about this game like pretty nonstop this whole year, like since it came out. Um, because like I love like the themes of grief and like how do you deal with it and like how do you I guess like like I like sort of like a breaking family, but then also I'm thinking about like what could potentially come. Then again, these guys made a brilliant game, so hey, it's all up to the creators to make something that they like they want to make, I guess. And to hear that like this is not
Mm.
neither a canon, that's very interesting to me because I was thinking like how could the second ending be canon, like or could it work, I guess for whatever. But also I gotta talk to you maybe off the record,
Oh
just to be
yeah, for
like
sure, for sure.
yeah, because I'm very curious, like but this is cool. I'm glad I got to talk to you about that because I mean I guess lay it out like well why should people play Expedition 33? Why is it like one of your why would you say it's like one of the best RPGs out there?
So I think that Expedition 33, if you go through it mechanic by mechanic or story beat by story beats, it's not like this brand new thing that's never been done before, right?
Right.
The parry mechanic has been done by the Paper Mario games. The you know, a lot of it comes from like Final Fantasy X narrative side. I mean, it is not groundbreaking on an individual component level, but what makes it interesting is how they remixed all those ideas together to create something that feels profoundly fresh and new. And so, even though all those individual components you can find in other games, you can't find them all together presented in the same way that you can with Expedition 33. And that's what makes it feel refreshing. A lot of people, what they don't understand when it comes to, I guess, specifically video games in particular, but this is the case with all art. But for whatever reason, with games, it becomes a bigger point of discussion. People want you to basically invent a mechanic, like in order to justify why your game is new or original. I don't think you need to invent a mechanic in order for that to happen. That's like telling like a musician they need to invent a new instrument in order to like to make a sound that feels fresh. I was like, no, you don't. You just need to play the guitar a little bit differently, right? Like, you just need to, play it in a way and mix it with other instruments that make your sound unique. And that's all you have to do. And that's what Expedition 33 does. It takes a ton of things from a lot of JRPGs that you already love. But the way it brings those things together is incredibly special. And it also takes a lot from what they call like the golden era of JRPGs during the 90s and early 2000s, where you had these games that are just designed fundamentally different than the way that we have modern game designs. There's no mini map. All the side
That's
quests
nice.
are unmarked. So
Yeah.
you actually have to go and explore the world if you want to find secrets. Shocking, I know.
I
You had
know.
to you had to
I had to
actually
use a
engage with the
guide.
game.
Like
Yeah.
I was going like and just looking, platforming, and like I did
Yeah.
appreciate that, but I was like, okay, I just gotta use a guide. I'm missing too many things.
Yeah. See, I like it because whenever I want to know what I missed, I'll go and look at the guide, right? However, what modern game design does is put this huge checklist in front of you and says this is all the stuff that you're missing out on and this is where to go and find it. So, you feel an obligation to stop the story and go do that, which ruins the pacing in a lot of areas in like these big narrative games. And so Expedition 33 doesn't put any of that in your face. You will go through the game and you will miss stuff if you're not playing with the guide, and that's okay. A lot of it, most of it, you can go back and find, so it's all good, right? Like, but that also gives this game like a level of secrets. When you find something while you're playing it, then you found something, right? And so keep in mind, I'm playing this game before it fucking released.
Yeah, nobody has any
So
information. Yeah.
I can't I can't look up any of this stuff, right? So for me, it was kind of magical because it was like, dang, this is truly like gaming like in the 90s as a kid because oh my god, like I can't just go look it up. Like if I did, I had to go to like to GameFAQs and it's like,
Yep.
like a text and it's
Either
like,
write it
oh,
down or you,
you know,
print it out secret, right?
yeah, and someone's trying to like very, articulately describe like where something is, and I'm like, dang, I still got no damn idea where the hell that
Yeah.
is. And so you just had to figure it out. And I was in that position where it's like everything, all the content in the game, everything I wanted to do, I had to figure it out. And that was a really great experience. I was like, I like that.
That's
And I
dope.
missed that about Golden Era games.
That's true.
Yeah.
Although, like you I think you clocked me like real accurately. I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I was just like, oh, I'm getting stressed out. What if I don't have this thing? What
Yeah.
about, but like I
Oh.
wouldn't use a guide on how to beat bosses or like to fight enemies or to figure out puzzles, but I needed to know
Mm.
where things are because I'm so directionally challenged. And I was like, where am I going? And like what was I missing? But I agree with you though. Like I think um like if games would have secrets more, that would bring a level of magic that is missing, especially these days.
Hmm.
I think
And I think
so.
we kind of saw that with Elden Ring,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and why people loved that game is because there are so many things in that game you discover, and people figure out ways to break it in really interesting and clever ways. And a lot of that is also present in Expedition 33.
Oh
Man,
man,
I'm
that's
sold.
beautiful.
Contrary to like the Ubisoft games where it's like the yellow paint everywhere. It's like go here, climb this tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it feels like, I guess Skinner box would be like the right term. I don't know, but it's like
Oh,
you're
like the
basically,
psychology type of deal.
yeah, you're conditioned to go and do it because and then you do that and you get the reward and
Yeah.
clearing the map and it makes you feel good because it's like look at all the stuff I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
I'm like, uh-oh. But I'm like, uh-oh, how conditioned am I now?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
No, I
Whereas,
agree with
yeah,
that. I guess I want to ask, going back to Final Fantasy VII, what are your thoughts on, well, one, do you have hope and optimism for the next game to come out?
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake 3. We can tentatively call it. I really enjoyed Rebirth. I thought that was the best Final Fantasy game that they have made in a very long time, a
Yeah.
very, very long time.
Yeah.
I feel like, this is like, maybe insane to say, but like, I feel like in a lot of ways that game kind of like saved my interest in Final Fantasy in a lot of ways.
Actually, because I think so. At least me seeing you, like I feel like I started seeing you talk about Final Fantasy more. After Rebirth. Like I thought I was starting to wane, and you were like, maybe time to change genres or change focuses in a way. But then it feels like Rebirth brought it back for you and a lot of different people too.
Well, yeah, because I was coming off of Final Fantasy 16,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and I was just kind of, which was coming off of Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
And I was
man.
just so demoralized, kind of like with like the way this series was headed, because I was like, this just isn't like I understand that there are some people that really love this, but I'm like, this just isn't the direction that I like really want from this series.
Yeah.
And then with Final Fantasy VII Remake, I really enjoyed the gameplay of that game, and I loved like 70 to 80% of the story.
Yeah.
There is like a 20 to 30% in that game. And this is also true of Rebirth too. But there's like a quarter of that game where the story just
Very
is like
different. Yes.
very different in ways that I don't feel are entirely positive. But I feel like the game itself is so strong that I kind of just turn the other cheek and keep playing.
I
And
feel you with
that,
that.
yeah. And in Rebirth, that like the same thing is true. Like I think there's a lot of strong stuff in that game narratively, but then like the last quarter goes, I'm like, this is this is dumb. But at the same time, I was like, dang, gameplay wise though, this is like one of the best Final Fantasy games they ever made.
Yeah.
So I turned the cheek again.
Yeah, no, I feel you with that. I feel you with that. And then the next
Yeah.
thing I did want to ask is like, did you play like all the other things like Ever Crisis? Do you play Ever Crisis?
I
And
played Ever
then
Crisis when it
okay,
first launched. So actually,
okay,
in terms of Final Fantasy mobile games, they just did the closed beta for the new Dissidia game. I don't know if you've
ooh,
even heard about this.
ooh. I feel like I've heard
Mhm.
grumblings about it, but like I've been wondering like what that's all gonna be.
Okay, so it's basically a MOBA, and
A
it's
MOBA.
PvPvE.
Ooh,
And I know this may sound like slop, but I actually had a lot of fucking fun playing it. It was actually
hey,
really,
okay.
really good. And that's the closed beta. But my primary concern is that it might be pay to win.
I don't know. We'll
Mm.
see how
And
that
there's
goes.
a lot of indicators of that in the closed beta. We'll see. But Ever Crisis I played for a little bit, like when it first came out. But me and gachas, it's hard to keep me. It's hard to keep me on a gacha. It's hard.
I feel like
It's
that's fair.
hard. My brain, if everyone had my neurochemistry, casinos would be out of business. Yeah. I am the
Oh,
type of person that gets turned off both by winning and losing at a casino.
Yeah.
Like, I've won money at casinos, and I turn to my partner and I'm just like, babe, I hate this. I hate this.
Wow.
I was like, here comes like money that is meant to condition me
To stay there.
to like spend more. So actually, usually, like once I win, I am the person that just gets up and walks away. I'm like, I got my money. I'm gone.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
So
probably for the best, honestly, or not probably.
yeah,
Actually, is for the best.
don't they
yeah.
have
And
cool
so every
collabs though?
time,
Yes, I mean, like for me, I'm still actually playing it. Like I started like last year, and
mhm.
I have just passed the mark for 200 days.
Ah,
And I know I'm like,
I'm
oh
not sure to
no,
say
like
congratulations or take you to rehab.
I know. I knew this was my problem. That's why I was the person who was trying to get me into it. I was like, hold on, stop. All right. Like I will get addicted to it. Just let me finish Final Fantasy 9 first, and then now I'm here. Needle in my arm. I've paid for a season pass 3 times. Like I don't feel
Wow.
regret for it, but at the same time, see, we're the other end of the spectrums, which is good. You are doing it right, especially for being able to talk about it and like the storyline
Mm.
features of it for me. I'm just like, I gotta complete everything, and but
Yeah.
I did want to see like what you thought about that, and then now we're talking about all this. I got something controversial to ask. Expedition 33 or Rebirth?
Um, that's tough.
I know.
That's
I'm
tough.
sorry.
Have you seen that the developers are collaborating?
Which I like. In fact, actually, thanks to you, like I saw that. Like on Twitter, I saw like the like that they like made art of each other in a way. I guess right.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's really cool. So yeah, so artists from both teams are doing the opposite team's game and drawing it. It's really awesome. I'm glad to see that that they're doing it since there is so much discussion between the two. With Expedition 33 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Okay. You have two games that I think are both hybrids of command based, which is kind of an umbrella term for turn based games, but also games that aren't necessarily turn based, but use command selection, like Final Fantasy 13 or like Final Fantasy 12. It's kind of an umbrella term. So Final Fantasy VII Remake would be a command-based game, but Expedition 33 would also be what they call a command-based game. So I see these both as really wonderful action command hybrids, and I think that they are both really kind of examples of where the future of the FF series could go. That I think would be really awesome. If I'm just being bluntly honest, I just don't want them to do this shit they did with 15 and 16 again. I think that's just my line with like
Yeah.
with
No
like
more.
because I'm pretty open to everything, but I feel very strongly that the command centric nature of Final Fantasy games is something that just can't go. You know what I'm saying? Like I should be selecting commands from a menu in any Final Fantasy game, whether it's action strictly or turn based. I want to have a wide array of abilities, not cooldowns, not no elemental weaknesses, not no control over my party members, not any of that type of stuff. No status effects, no buffs or debuffs.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
man. Now you're making me feel like
yeah.
the emptiness I think I felt, but couldn't put
All right.
my finger on.
Yeah. All right. Which is why I would still put 15 above 16 because I'm like 15 may not be like a very great action game system, but at least it has all of those things, right? Magic system,
Yeah.
maybe not, but it has all those things, right? That you would expect from a Final Fantasy game. And 16 drops all of those entirely. And while it does have better action, it just doesn't have the role playing that I expect and the Final Fantasy elements that I expect. So, yeah, for me, uh, Rebirth, Expedition 33, both great titles. Just don't do full action again. I think that's my only thing. Yeah,
I can agree with that. Do you like
yeah.
the action of Kingdom Hearts though, in a way?
I fucking love the action of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, and Kingdom Hearts actually, especially as I went back and revisited KH1 recently for the retrospective I did on it. Kingdom Hearts is so interesting because if you go back to that time period, it is one of the most technically advanced and good feeling action RPGs of that entire generation. It basically changed action RPGs forever.
Yo.
And what I think is really interesting is that like when you kind of line that up with say 16, right? Where they decided to omit like things like party members, etc. But I'm like, in your very first attempt to make an action style Final Fantasy game in the way that Kingdom Hearts was, I'm like, you got all that stuff right. You did more than get it right. You got it like
For the
top tier.
bars.
Yeah, like 10 out of 10. This is like what future developers will reference for good ARPG combat. And then they didn't apply most of that to that game. So it's really confounding. But yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts is dope as fuck because, essentially it is a command-based Final Fantasy game that happens in like completely real time. So you are, selecting commands from a menu all while moving around and like dodging and attacking, and it's not combo centric too, which I think is very interesting for an ARPG. You can technically do like some type of like combo stuff and flashiness, but that's not really how the game works. That's like
Yeah.
not really like the point of Kingdom Hearts, right? It's really more about just using the right commands at the right time, and of course you do have blocking and evading and stuff like that, but it's still RPG combat to its very core at the end of the day. Yeah.
I'm glad, dude.
Yeah, very
I'm
nice.
so you were the guy. Like, I'm so happy that like I get to talk to you because like it's sort of
Yeah.
a lot of questions I have been having. It's like, does this count?
Yeah.
What is this?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
this is it right here. Like, I'm feeling
Mm.
also a lot better, especially about like the way I had felt about a lot of games. I guess 15 and 16 for sure.
Well, I'm glad I
It
could validate you on that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, no, and I mean for sure. Like with 13, I mean the way you do talk about 13 makes me want to give it another chance, especially since it feels like there's some sort of psyop, I guess, or some industry plant thing happening with it, which I'm like,
There's
hey,
some sauce in 13. There's some
yeah,
sauce in there. But like
It
the thing
shows.
is that I would wait for a remaster. And I
okay,
do
Oh,
good to
think
hear.
that there is one on the way. I hope that there is one on the way. Everyone kind of does at this point because all the Final Fantasies are playable on like modern consoles, except for, or I should say, they're all playable on PS5 except for Final Fantasy 13. So
oh,
that's the only one. So people want that to be remastered, and if it is, and they fix, because again, I think that game can go from, in my current opinion, like I said, not what I would call a bad game, but also just not what I would call like a great game. I think it could take it to a pretty damn good game. Like if they just change small stuff like letting me switch party members, unlocking the battle system earlier, uh, like just small stuff that they could develop and test in a couple of weeks. You know, that
Yeah.
like is not like that. A lot of those things are in its sequel 13 too, because
Oh,
they
really?
address the direct, yeah, because they address in 13 too. You can change party members. You can, the battle system is fully unlocked immediately. The level design's better. They do all these different things to address all the stuff. So I'm just like, dang, if you guys just bring all that stuff back to the first game, 13 would actually be really dope.
I love that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna wait because I was like, I got a new PS3, new old PS3. So I was like,
Yeah.
do I try to make it happen? Also, I'm trying Tactics right now. Our producer
Oh
put me on
yeah.
it,
oh yeah, you're
but
talking
he
about
put
that.
me on the old Tactics, not even like the Evilist Chronicles. He's making me do War of the Lions version, and I am getting my ass beat. I'm like,
You
oh,
should
maybe I'm dumb.
do Evil East Chronicles, man. There's a voice acting and it's really good.
Okay.
It's like
I
sublime.
Are you far
I'm
in?
gonna make him proud, and like he said, I had to get until at least I got Balthier. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
Oh,
that's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
but also I am interested to see like how Evil's Chronicles will go, and then I'm thinking like maybe it'll fix some of the things I have like I'm annoyed with in this game, but we'll see how things go. I'm excited.
Yeah. 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 Definitely give it a shot.
Dope.
I gotta ask both of you too. Well, let's start off with you, Ryan. Who is your Final Fantasy waifu? I know it's deep.
Hmm.
Okay. Like, it's actually going to be like a very obscure choice. You guys
Ooh.
probably won't know who the hell I'm talking about.
Ooh.
It's a woman named Yotsuyu, and she's in a Final Fantasy 14 expansion called
Oh,
Stormblood.
wow.
And everyone who does know who Yotsuyu is and is listening to this is cackling right now because they immediately know, like, of course, bro's a freak. But
Whoa, you can't just leave it like that. Give us some context. You got to give us some context.
Oh no, now I gotta look her up.
she's a villain. She's a
Okay.
villain, and she smokes a pipe. And there's like this scene where she is like torturing like one of the protagonists, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I
I'll
love
have to
that.
check
Oh
her
my
out.
gosh.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
no,
Yeah.
you guys will.
yeah.
Who's your favorite wife?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so basic, but Tifa, honestly, like because I was like, oh man, I want to say a cool answer. Maybe I should say Garnet. Maybe I should say Tara, although I haven't played six, so
Yeah.
I don't know her enough. Maybe I should say Fran. Actually, Fran would probably be number two. I'm a freak too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, sir.
I gotta go with Tifa though. It's like I like responsible, ambitious girls that like got the hands and the hoo-has.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I guess, and like my number two pick, this is where the freak comes out. I'd probably say Shiva.
Hey,
Like
any particular Shiva?
any of them, but like 15 had like a really good Shiva.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was a really really good design. But I think actually I'd probably say 10 Shiva with the
Ooh, yes.
braids.
I gotta look them up now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is
That
kind of.
was that.
I don't know. I was gonna
Oh,
mention
yeah.
with the Tifa too. You guys remember
Yeah.
what happened with the Italian president?
Oh
No.
yeah.
I try to
It was
remember.
like one of the
It's been
biggest
a-
news that I've ever seen. Yeah.
It's
Uh,
been. It's
Oh, they were
been
looking
a
up like. Sorry, go ahead.
Wow, it's been a minute since that's happened.
There was the president. I want to say they were looking at their laptop at a conference, and they had like Tifa like R34 playing on like a tab. So it was shown to the world.
Yeah.
And
That's
Well,
hilarious.
that
that's
was
his
funny
taste.
because it became a meme for like a really long time, and
Yeah.
I do remember
It's-
that now.
yeah.
That was a fun time. Also, I'm looking
The
up
memes
Final
are
Fantasy
funny.
X Shiva, and I have to agree, like that awoke a lot in me. Oh, if I had to give my top
She's
10
fine.
list or
Yeah, I'm looking.
top
She's fine.
three, yes, I think I have to go with I'm. This doesn't help me. I'm such a gooner, but one Tifa, two Lulu, three Fran.
bro, bro.
Hey, I like their personalities and how they look, and they were great to
Yeah.
to play with.
If I was to talk about like in terms of writing, though, I would say that I think Yuna is the best
Personality.
heroine. From
Yes.
10 to 10-2, I think her story is just really compelling. I basically consider her to really be like the true main character of Final Fantasy X. Like
Yes.
Tidus. No disrespect to Tidus. I do like Tidus, but he's kind of
He doesn't exist.
he he's not the main point of 10 to me in the same way that I feel like Yuna is.
Yeah.
I feel like Yuna is the soul of that game. And the way she develops between the two games is just really phenomenal. And I think she's kind of under. Oh, she's probably not underappreciated. I think people do put respect on Yuna's name.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. If I had to choose personality, I'd probably go with Garnet in Final Fantasy IX. At least that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
what pops up to me. Like I liked that she was a strong, independent woman. Didn't need her mom to tell her anything from the beginning.
Yeah.
Didn't let Zidane, get it too easy. Checked people like where they needed to be checked, and like looked out for like all the people. So I think personality, her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Dude, thank you so much for being on here. Like, and I'm really glad we got to ask you a lot of these questions. Like it's just been burning in me. I feel the Final Fantasy and JRPG fire burning, and I was like, I gotta ask an expert about these things, and
I
I
appreciate you.
truly appreciate you. And it's always good to hear from you. And dude, you're looking great. So I'm excited to see what
Thanks,
more's
man.
coming.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask too. Did you go to the cafe or have you?
Oh,
There's a Final Fantasy pop up here in LA.
Oh, in LA. No, I'm here in Texas, and
We'll fly
I
you
would
out.
have
Come on.
loved-
Yeah,
have-
let's-
Bro,
I
like
wish. Let me get
they
money.
Square had sent me an invite to it, but
Oh,
I'm like, how am I gonna get there, bro?
That part. That part.
So I
That
was
part. That
like,
part.
yeah, unfortunately this won't be able to work, but I appreciate you guys thinking of me,
Yes.
for sure. So yeah, maybe next time. And well, actually, I would have just flew myself, but they had sent me like the invite and stuff,
oh,
like hey, we want to see you come out here. But they sent that to me like maybe like a couple days before it was happening, and I was like, oh
Chill.
man, if you would have sent me this like maybe a couple weeks before, I would have just
Right.
been
Some
like,
actual
fuck it.
planning.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'll find a friend, stay out there in LA,
Yeah.
and
If you ever
just
need a
like,
crash,
yeah.
let me know.
it's here till
Oh, okay,
February, so you
great.
have a good
Yeah.
amount of time.
Oh, wow, is it still there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still
Well,
there.
shit. Okay, maybe we'll have to work something out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
yeah.
went.
Like
It was
me
tight.
and Louis,
Yeah.
yeah, went a little early
Yeah.
ago. Like, and like I got an apron from it. I got
Oh, you're
my
gonna flex that?
I got not the
Oh,
apron, but I did get this in the blind box, so I'm super happy.
Oh, that's nice.
My
You got
boy.
Barrett.
Yeah, I was like, hey, let me just get my boy.
Yes,
And
that's
hell yeah.
oh,
awesome.
one thing. Oh, one last thing I gotta ask. How'd you feel
Okay.
about Red 13 code switching?
Why you gotta put it like that, bro?
I know. I gotta. I got
Okay.
to.
Yeah, that's like become like a kind of a topic recently on social media. There's been discourse around that. So apparently this was kind of like always like an implied thing that
Nanaki
happens
versus Red
because
13.
yeah, because he's not actually a grown ass man. He's technically a child, but he's also 49 because his species ages slower, right? So they they did this like really interesting thing where, and what's even funnier I guess is that it's Max Middleman who voices him, who also does the voice of Ryuji from Persona 5.
Ah,
So
Oh,
yeah, so I'm like insane range, right, to be able to do that voice
straight
and then
up. He's a
also
great
do
actor.
like
Like I
yeah.
shouldn't say like any
Yeah.
aspersions on his acting. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's incredible. But yeah, a lot of people were like, when they saw it, they were like, "Oh, I hate that," or "Oh, I hate his character now." And it was jarring for me too. But I think it's supposed to be jarring. And what better way to hear that jarringness, like to feel that jarringness, to be as surprised as the characters are, than from him to go from sounding like this sage old man to basically sounding like fucking Ryuji from Persona 5.
oh man, you're right. I guess I want to say my personal 2 cents. Like because I think you're professional and good. I get to not be professional now.
Yeah.
huh.
I think I wish he would just code switch only with his grandfather and like his people in his place, and then go back to his other voice. Like I did not like playing with him after that chapter. I was like, bro, you were saying some dumb shit. I don't care if you're 16. It's like I need you to go back to being cool again. All right, it's like you are now
Yeah.
with the niggas, and I need you to sound like a nigga again. Not
Right. Right. No,
so.
I get it. I get it. And but I think thematically it's the most appropriate thing for Final
Yes,
Fantasy VII. Final
yes.
Fantasy VII is all about facades. Everything in FF7 is about facades. So, I mean, think about, and I'm kind of like, what I'm about to say, I'm directly stealing this from my friends over at Shinra Archaeology Department, who have a channel called The Last Elixir, and their latest video, and they made me think about this. So I'm stealing their words, full credit to them. But basically, everything in FF7 is about everyone who presents the way they are that's not actually who they are. Barrett kind of starts out as this freedom fighter, but then as you learn about him, he's really a man seeking revenge. Cloud, he pretends to be a soldier, and then you find out that's not who he really is. Midgar has the facade of being like this, beacon of human progress and civilization, but then it's also this oppressive pizza that, blocks out the sun from the poor people,
Yeah.
and so everything is kind of like discovering this maybe like less desirable kind of side to people, or perceived less desirable side. But really, it's about the person thinking, I'm not good enough, so I have to be something I'm not, right? And so there's just this duality of there being like maybe like two sides to people in and keeping up those two sides. And I think that there is nothing that is more thematically appropriate to show that than to have Red 13 be a fucking loser.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and then after you've, it's like, you know, you ever have like that homie, and I hope not at this age, but like
Yeah.
growing up,
Yeah.
like, you know, like teens and 20s especially, they kind of like flex a little too hard, and they kind of make shit up a little bit, and
Yes.
they put on, and that's not really who they are, but they want the facade of being cool, right? They want the to project, I am cool. And then like you kind of find out that they were boosting all that stuff like a little bit. But, you know, in the back of your head, you're really thinking, you didn't have to do any of that. I would have accepted you for who you were. I thought you were cool as you were. And I think
I
that
thought he was cool
that
as he was.
yeah, exactly. Right.
I was like, hey, if this is a
Right.
facade, put the sunglasses back on, bro. I was like,
Right.
at least not every fight, start saying Titus level shit. Like, hey, it's fine when Titus doing it because that's Titus, right? But it's not like,
Right.
hey guys, yeah, we gotta go defeat the monster. Whoa, you weren't saying this shit before, bro. It's like, it's like you
Yeah.
don't have to say, is this who you are? It's like, I don't know if I like it as much, but
It's pretty
but
funny.
yeah,
But you know, at the same
I think what
time
you're
though
saying is
too.
beautiful though.
Right. And then eventually, you know, I think it challenges the player to accept him as he is. You know,
Yeah.
to reframe that that was like not who he actually is, and that he is a little goofy ass kid, and then
Yeah.
to challenge you to accept him despite that. And that
Damn.
connects back to Cloud's story for sure.
That is beautiful. Although I
Hmm.
am like, damn it. Like when he did the moonwalk in that sailor suit, mwah,
Yeah.
that's my boy.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that
but
shit was great.
yeah, I loved it. And I was like, bro, at least if you want to say the stupid shit, just do it with the deep voice again. What are we doing? Like, now you
Yeah.
gotta do it. Yeah, he would just, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Okay,
Yeah.
I just had to say that, but I think the way you broke it down is beautiful, and I
Mm.
truly, truly, truly hope in part three that he goes only deep voice. Maybe he sees Grandpa. Sure, you can, like, yeah, Grandpa, I love you, but other than that, yes, my father Seto.
Yeah.
Bring
Go
it back.
back to pretending you were cool, man.
Exactly, and then you fake it till you make it, you become cool. That's how it happened for me. But dude, honestly, it's absolutely a pleasure to have you on. Truly appreciate all this insight. Yeah, you are a sage in this world, and I'm excited to keep up with what you're doing. Where can people find
Yeah.
you, and like where should they be attuned to your thoughts?
Great. If you want to be able to find me, go check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Night Sky Prince. If you want to follow me on Twitter, then actually follow me at Night Sky King underscore. It used to be at Night Sky Prince underscore, and then I don't know what I did, but they shadow banned me to hell and back, and I had 17K followers on that account, and I had to make a new one. So at Night Sky King underscore, please.
Dope.
Two best
Dope. Well,
places to follow me.
we'll have those
Yes, sir.
up for the folks to find you. But dude, absolute pleasure to have you on. Very excited. I think when part three comes out, I've got to bring you back on. Or the next
sure.
significant Final Fantasy or JRPG thing that happens, I definitely got to get you back on.
Oh, anytime, man. I'm always
Dude,
willing.
it means a ton. And yeah, everyone that listened all the way through, thanks for listening. Love to hear your thoughts on Final Fantasy as
All
a
of them.
whole. The franchise, favorite part, favorite characters, favorite waifus. Am I too much of a gooner? let me know. Also, give us a 5 stars. Subscribe, tell your friends, and yeah, I mean, hell, tell us if there's like a particular topic you want us to talk about. But as always, stay dope, folks. Peace.